Good evening. My name is Daniel Young, and I'm the owner and founder of Adapted Perspective and the Adapted Perspective social media platforms. And I'm back with another meme review, except it's not the standard meme review. Normally, I would walk you through my Pinterest page and where to find it, and it would be directly finance related, but not today. Um, So the normal disclaimers, it's an unedited video, as you've already seen. So who knows what else you'll hear in the background as I film these in my house. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a financial strategist, really just a strategist in general. And I don't speak like the herd. Um, my goal is to be completely transparent. And even if that's pointing out my own mistakes. So if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that I love strategy and I love specific targeted strategy. And that awareness is key because I do want to keep effectively evaluating these financial memes, or like today, just the general memes, using our investment strategies as well as just some everyday down to earth common sense. So it's not my goal to slander anybody. I'm hyper focused on separating the good from the bad when it comes to good advice or just financial advice. So let's look at this meme. This meme and why this meme. This meme struck a nerve. Um, There's no good place to put this box. I wish there was a better place to put this box. Maybe there. This meme struck a nerve, and I'll let you read it. So I really will. I'll pause for about 5 seconds, and then you can pause the video if you even want. And I will admit that I am tired. It's been a long day. It's been not a hard day. It's just been a long day. I'm filming this later, a lot later than normal, and I am pretty tired and ready for bed. But I wanted to film this before going to bed. So pause the video whenever you need to. I'm not going to read this meme to you. I hate when I go to presentations and they read the presentation to me. Just like, give me the cliff notes, give me the PowerPoint, and I can read it on my own. What struck me is the first thing on the list. It's the easiest thing to pick at, and yet very few people are tired simply because they cannot go to sleep, or they like, so you're tired, go to sleep earlier. Okay, well, what if you work two and three jobs? It's really hard to find sleep when you're always working. And this isn't that you can't go to bed because you have to scroll the internet for 3 hours. There are a ton of people who are plagued by anxiety and worry, and their mind is constantly busy. And whether that's the hamster running on a wheel, whether that's a hamster running on a wheel that has holes in it, like it's just your mind cannot seem to shut off. And now maybe part of that's ADD or ADHD or something else. But a lot of that is just this deep set. It's a mental health issue in the sense that you need help resolving the anxiety. It's not a push for medication. It's there are some people who cannot sleep because they are so worried and so anxious and so nervous about stuff. So it's not that they're making an excuse. It's just they're tired because they cannot turn it off. Are you out of shape? Exercise more. Well, great. Okay, but everybody has their own level of fitness, or maybe not fitness, but it's up to that person to do it. You can look at somebody in the face and just be like, you should exercise more. But unless they want to do it, nothing really matters. And even when they want to do it, it's building in the consistency into their workout. So it's small wins over time. We get so used to instant gratification. I mean, of the different pages I run, it's nice when people like your videos or they like your post, but you just when you get trapped into that, it conditions you for instant gratification. It makes you feel good when people like your stuff. It kind of doesn't do, I'll be honest, it doesn't do this to me. So if you leave me a nasty review, I'll read it. But It's water off my back, but not everybody's like that. So just telling somebody to do something more isn't really going to fix their problem or fix their issue or resolve their excuse. You don't have time. We're all strapped for time for any normal or any number of reasons. But I think most people would admit if they really sketched out their day, they could find more time if they really wanted to. You don't have the money. Well, part of that is yes, we all waste a ton of money. You can really skimp down and save money, but you can also troubleshoot. That's a Robert Kiyosaki thing. Don't say you cannot do it. Don't say that you cannot afford it. Find a way legally. But we get conditioned to operate inside a very specific box with very specific limitations. You really have to let your mind have the ability, have the creative license to figure out ways outside the typical box of things that you can earn more money. Does it seem too complicated? That it's the before and after pictures we see in weight loss, or the before and after pictures we see in business. It's like you see the before picture, you see the amazing after picture, and it's like there's no way I can do that. But that's more instant gratification. That's like I can't achieve that overnight. And that's correct. But it's small wins over time. It's building in success to the journey. If it's a nonstop slugfest hardship the entire way through, the journey sucks and it's wearing and most people won't stay in that. But if you can find a way to break it down into smaller steps and be challenging, right? It's okay to be challenged. It's okay to fail. That's huge. It is okay to fail. And you learn from it, you do better the next time. But you start small and you do the work and you make progress and you incentivize your progress. The people who drop 150 pounds and just look amazing, it's a fucking fight to do it. It's not like it was all, unicorns and rainbows the whole way through. It was a challenge and it kicked their ass some days. But they didn't give up and they figured out a way to make it work. And everybody's got bad days. You might have a bad 3 to 5 day set where everything hurts and you can't work out because your body is so stiff. Been there. Like everything sucks, but you keep going. You figure out a way to reward yourself and you keep going. So you don't have the knowledge, learn and read a book. Yeah, yeah, easier said than done. But I wouldn't phrase it that way. Fine, read a book, but read any book. If you need a break from wasting time on the TV and internet and scrolling, put all that aside and read a book. Actually, read a physical book. It's so much different tactily to hold a book and smell the paper and read it. And then if you like the book and keep it when you pick it up the next time and smell it, you actually get a good memory of the last time you read the book. But if that's not your jam and you read on Kindle or pick your website, then read a book and read a book you like. Now, if you want to learn more about the tax code and you're not a financial minded person, it's gonna be hard because it's not your typical cup of tea, but you also want to learn from it. So it might be hard work and you might read slow and you might process slow, but you're still learning. So don't just sit there and do nothing. Quite honestly, do not learn everything on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Pick your source. The online media is online media. It's meant to grab your attention. Very few people actually educate off of it. Most affiliate marketers are like blam in your face, and they don't give you anything in reward. It's catch your attention and keep you invested so that you hopefully click on their link and they make money. They don't really care if they're solving your problem. So just because it's on Facebook or just because it's on TikTok or just because it's on pick a platform doesn't mean it's actually true. Doesn't mean it's actually helpful. So don't be afraid to set all that stuff aside and go to the source and read a book about it. So they're closing. It's we all know what we need to do. That's not actually true. You don't know what you don't know. And if you're whether it's business or personal or whatever you're working for, if you don't know what you need to do, you're not going to know what to do unless you research and find out what you have to do, which sounds very convoluted and like I'm talking in circles. But it's, I hate the closing. We all know what we have to do. Well, do we? Do we really all know what we have to do? You really understand everything? Obviously not, because there's this list above, right? But most people don't do it. I think most people get trapped into what they think should happen, or they simply just don't know what the next step is. And they get lost in the search online because there's so much other stuff to look at online. And you get that instant gratification. So you find a video that appeals to you, you like it, and you see another one. And every single online platform has a built-in algorithm to display more of what you like. Doesn't matter what it is. You could enjoy watching pictures or you can enjoy watching videos of possible megalodon sightings. And you could be like, oh my gosh, look, they found another one. Oh my gosh, look, they found another one. Oh my gosh, how can people not like this? And every single video you see confirms something you already like, and it makes you feel good. And you get trapped in that. And you might have gone on looking for how to grow your business. And then you get sucked into the megalodon theories for the next 3 hours. That's what we have a hard time controlling. It's you want to learn and then you get easily distracted from that instant gratification. So it's very hard to push against your comfort zones. It's very hard to push in it. It's very hard to push against the limitations that you have inbuilt in your mind because you think you've been trapped inside this box of how you can think and act. So it is easier to make excuses because that's honestly what we've all been taught to do. But if you really want to do something different, you have to do something different. All of us benefit from structure. All of us, all of us like scheduling. You think of high school, it puts you on a schedule. You think of college, even though it's a schedule based on your time frame, it's still a schedule. In the traditional 8 to 5, 9 to 5 job is a schedule based thing. It's a daily regimen. Even though your job could be helter skelter all over the place, it's still the same expectation of time parameters every day. And when you start a business or you're trying to work out or you're trying to be healthy or you're trying something new, that's a completely different schedule than what you're used to. So you really have to be intentional in what you're doing. You have to script out your schedule for whatever time you have, but you also need to script out what you're doing. Like if you're working out, like my workouts are 19 minutes and like 15 seconds. It's extremely intentional. It's these are the exercises I'm focusing on today. I'm not worried about anything else. And so long as I'm working on my exercises today, this is what I'm focusing on. That's it. I play music in the background. I try to work out about the same time every day where it gets me on a schedule of things. And if my schedule changes and I have to work out at a different time of the day, I can generally make myself work out in the morning. I'll wake up early. I mean, so I wake up, I take about 20, 30 minutes to crawl out of bed. And then the first thing I do before I make coffee is I work out. But if you ask me to do the same thing and work out later in the day, so if I work out about 5, 5:30 every afternoon, if you were like, hey, work out about 6:30, the first time I do it, it's really hard to make myself do it, especially if I'm not already planned out for the day. Like if If my full-time job schedule is this is my expected schedule, so right now I'm working out about 5:30, in about a month, that's going to change and it will push it back an hour. And I'll be working out at 6:30 before I do anything else. That's different, but it's also expected for what I'm doing. If you were like, hey, work out at 8:30, that's a very different ball game. It's just a 2 hour difference, but it's a much harder workout because it's hard to get in the mood. It's hard to wrap my brain around it. It's hard to keep that in a schedule. So on my end of things, I love lists. I love to-do lists. I love having a plan for things. Maybe that's not you, but when you start something new, you need a plan of action, you need organization, you need structure. And if if that's not normally you, then I would either add reminders in your phone, like I would add alarms or add calendar events, or go type yourself a note. Like, so make an alarm for, Monday, 3 p.m. workout. And then in your notes, it'll say Monday, 3 p.m. workout and exactly what it is. And it can be the same thing for your personal life, it can be the same thing for your business, it can be the same thing for anything. But it's a memory, hey, you have to do this. You remember where you have to go, and it's here's the stuff you have to do. This is your time frame. Get to work. You do the stuff on day one, and it's not like it automatically regulates your schedule for the next 5 to 6 days. However long you're like, if I'm working out, I'm working out 5 to 6 days a week. If you're working on your business, you're typically working 5 to 7 days a week. It just kind of depends on your individual schedule and availability. But you want to do the same thing every day. You want to be intentional in what you're doing. And if a ton of that is phone based, you want to be extremely limiting and focused and intentional of what you're doing, so you're not tempted to get sucked into the videos or the what if or the instant gratification of watching other stuff. If you have 2 hours to work on your business on Instagram, then you work on your business on Instagram. You don't pay attention to whatever else pops on your feed. You don't be like, oh, look, that's cool. I haven't seen that Yellowstone snippet yet. Or, oh, that's cool. That's the first 2 minutes of a scene I haven't seen yet. You're pushing all of that away and like tunnel vision focused what you have to do. And if you can eliminate the chatter, if you can eliminate the distractions and focus on what you have to focus on and make it extremely organized where you can repeat the same thing every day and get into a habit of doing the same thing every day, it's much easier to start something new. It's much easier to maintain it. It's much easier to build consistency and determination and resiliency and confidence. This meme stuck with me, quite honestly, because it's bad. It's confronting, and maybe people need this. Maybe they do, but it's confronting and limited. And when I evaluate memes, I mean, it's well laid out. It's not pretty, but it's functional. It's relatively straightforward, but at the same time of the advice it gives doesn't help you. It's fluff and nonsense, as my wife calls it. It looks pretty, but it's a nothing burger. It doesn't help you. So when you look at memes, whether it's like this or the normal financial stuff I do, evaluate the meme. Does it really help you? And if it does, slock it away and save it in a different place or label it a different way. But when you look at my Pinterest page, the majority of the financial memes are financial or advice for the financially illiterate because it looks pretty, but there's nothing there. And this one is not straight financial advice, but it could be. It looks, I don't know about, it looks pretty. It could, you can say maybe it looks handsome. It's got that black kind of grayscale in the background. It looks handsome, but there's still nothing there. It's like life advice for the, I don't know, it's life advice for the inept, or it's nothing burger advice. It's just disappointing and frustrating. So I will leave it there. Um, whatever you have for the week, and I'll keep this as short as I can. I don't want to drag this out any longer than I already have. Whatever you have for the week, I hope it goes well. And whatever you have on your immediate horizon, I hope that goes well. I hope you have a game plan. I hope you have a map for where you're actually going, the day to day as well as the long term. And if you have no idea what that means, then right now the information is on Facebook. But come November 1st, I am moving my scholarship information and I'm moving my financial strategy system onto Instagram. Same handle as this, Adapted Perspective. So if you want more information about a map, if you want more information about how to manage the day to day, as well as how to chart your course to where you want to go, then come check out my pages. If you, yes, not last, but almost second to last, if you like my content, if you like my content or my chatter or my input, consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the like button because it really does help push videos out. And then if you want more information, come find me on any of my other platforms. Um, whatever it is that you're looking to do, financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally, vocally, uh, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is, it's not going to happen simply because you manifest it. You can think about it, and that can help drive some of your actions when you think about stuff. But just because you think about it, it's not going to manifest and fall in your lap. So, whatever you want to do, whatever you're shooting for, you have to work for. So, get out there and make it happen. See y'all on another video. Bye bye.